The dust had barely settled on Cole Remington's boots when he stepped off the stagecoach in Redemption Springs. The town had grown since he'd last passed through, but its essence remained unchanged, a haven for those with something to hide. Perfect for a man like him, whose reputation as a merciless bounty hunter preceded him like a shadow. Cole wasn't here for bounties this time. He was hunting something far more personal. Revenge against the man who'd murdered his brother and stolen the family fortune. Judge Maxwell Blackwood now presided over Redemption Springs with an iron gavel, his corrupt influence extending throughout the territory. Auctions about to start at the old Silverado, the stagecoach driver mentioned, nodding toward a dilapidated building at the end of the main street. That saloon's been empty since old man Donovan got himself shot last winter. Cole's interest piqued. A saloon would make the perfect cover, a place to gather information while establishing himself in town. With Blackwood's men watching every newcomer, he needed a legitimate reason to stay. The auction drew a sparse crowd. The Silverado Saloon had a reputation for bad luck, with 3 owners dead in as many years. When the bidding started at a paltry sum, Cole raised his hand. 10 minutes later, he was the proud owner of the most notorious saloon in the territory. Comes with everything inside, the auctioneer explained, handing over the deed and keys. Including him. He jerked his thumb toward a man sitting motionless at a dusty piano in the corner, a figure Cole hadn't noticed until now. The piano player was an enigma, tall and lean, with silver-streaked black hair and a face that spoke of both refinement and hardship. His fingers rested on the keys as if they belonged there, though no music played. Name's Elias, the auctioneer continued. Been with the place for years, doesn't talk much, but plays like the devil himself taught him. Previous owners considered him part of the property. Cole approached the silent musician. You come with the saloon? Elias looked up, his eyes a startling shade of amber. I go where the music goes, he replied, his voice cultured despite the frontier setting. And the music is here. I'm not running a concert hall, Cole warned. I need a saloon that turns a profit. A slight smile touched Elias's lips. Then you need me, Mr. Remington. Music brings patrons, patrons bring money, money brings opportunities. The use of his name, which Cole hadn't provided, sent a warning through him. How do you know who I am? I know many things, Elias replied, finally playing a soft, haunting melody, including why you're really here. Judge Blackwood is not a man to be trifled with lightly. Cole's hand moved instinctively to his revolver. Give me one reason why I shouldn't consider you a threat right now. Because I, too, have a score to settle with the good judge, Elias answered, never missing a note. And because the secrets buried beneath this saloon might be exactly what you need to bring him down. The renovation of the Silverado began the next day. Cole hired local workers, making it clear he intended to restore the saloon to its former glory. It was the perfect cover. A businessman investing in the community while he secretly plotted against its most powerful citizen. Elias proved invaluable, directing the renovations with surprising authority. The bar should return to its original position, he insisted, and the stage must be rebuilt exactly where it was. You seem to know this place better than its blueprints, Cole observed. I should. I designed it, Elias replied, before Blackwood decided a successful architect was a threat to his ambitions. The pieces began to fall into place. He ruined you. He tried, Elias corrected. Instead, I chose to disappear into plain sight. A piano player is invisible, present but unseen, hearing everything while being heard only for his music. As the renovation progressed, Cole noticed peculiarities in the building's design, spaces that didn't quite add up, walls that seemed thicker than necessary. When he questioned Elias, the pianist merely smiled. Patience, Mr. Remington. Some secrets reveal themselves only to those who know how to listen. The grand reopening of the Silverado drew a crowd that exceeded all expectations. The respectable citizens of Redemption Springs came early, curious about the handsome newcomer who'd restored the town's most notorious establishment. As night fell, a different clientele arrived. Gamblers, drifters, and working girls seeking employment. Through it all, Elias played. His music transformed with the crowd, refined waltzes for the early patrons, rowdier tunes as the whiskey flowed. Cole watched in amazement as the pianist subtly controlled the mood of the entire saloon. Judge Blackwood arrived shortly before midnight, flanked by his personal guards. A hush fell over the room as he approached the bar where Cole stood. "Mr. Remington," the judge said, his voice carrying the practiced authority of a man accustomed to being obeyed. "I make it a point to welcome new business owners to our community personally." Cole forced a smile. "An honor, Your Honor. I understand you've had quite a successful career in law enforcement," Blackwood continued, the slight emphasis making it clear he knew exactly what kind of enforcement Cole specialized in. "I'm retired now," Cole replied evenly. "Just a businessman looking for a quiet place to settle." "Interesting choice, the Silverado. It has quite a history." "I enjoy a challenge." Blackwood's eyes narrowed slightly. "As do I, Mr. Remington, as do I." He glanced toward the piano. "I see Elias remains, a curious fixture, wouldn't you agree?" "He came with the property," Cole said casually, and the patrons seemed to appreciate his talents. "Indeed. Well, I'll leave you to your success. Should you need anything, permits, licenses, protection, my office is always open to upstanding citizens." As Blackwood departed, Elias transitioned into a minor key, the melody suddenly mournful. Cole noticed how the judge's shoulders stiffened at the change, though he never looked back. Later that night, after the last patron had staggered home, Elias finally stopped playing. "He recognized me," he said quietly. "Seemed that way," Cole agreed. "Will that be a problem?" "On the contrary, it's exactly what I've been waiting for." Elias rose from the piano bench and approached a seemingly solid wall behind the bar. "It's time you learned what the Silverado really is, Mr. Remington." His fingers found invisible triggers in the ornate woodwork. With a soft click, a section of the wall swung inward, revealing a narrow staircase descending into darkness. "The original Silverado wasn't just a saloon," Elias explained, lighting a lantern. "It was a way station for something far more valuable than gold." The stairs led to a spacious cellar that clearly extended beyond the saloon's footprint. One section had been converted into living quarters, with a small bed and bookshelf. The rest contained something unexpected: printing equipment. "Freedom," Elias said, gesturing to the press. "The most dangerous commodity in a territory controlled by men like Blackwood." Cole examined the equipment. "You're a newspaper man?" "I was many things before Blackwood destroyed my reputation. Architect, journalist, husband." Elias's voice hardened. "My wife died in prison after Blackwood had her arrested on fabricated charges. My daughter disappeared into the system of orphanages and workhouses he controls." "I'm sorry," Cole said, understanding the man's pain all too well. "Don't be sorry, be useful." Elias pulled a leather portfolio from beneath the press. "For 5 years, I've gathered evidence of Blackwood's crimes: land theft, murder, corruption, names, dates, witnesses, but I needed someone with the authority to act on it." "I'm a bounty hunter, not a lawman," Cole reminded him. "You were a Texas Ranger before that," Elias countered. "Your badge may be gone, but the commission was never officially revoked." "I checked." Cole stared at him. "How could you possibly know that?" "The same way I know you're not just here for your brother's murder. You're here because Blackwood stole land grants that rightfully belonged to settlers, including the Remington homestead where your brother died defending what was his." The accuracy of Elias's information was unsettling. "You've been planning this for years." 5 years, 2 months, and 14 days, Elias confirmed. "Waiting for the right partner. Someone with both the skill and motivation to see it through." Over the following weeks, the Silverado thrived under Cole's management, becoming the center of Redemption Springs' social life. All the while, he and Elias worked beneath the saloon, piecing together the evidence against Blackwood. The judge's empire was more extensive than either had imagined: a network of corrupt officials, forged land deeds, and strategic murders that had consolidated power in his hands. Most disturbing were the records of children separated from their parents and sent to work in mines Blackwood secretly owned. "He's building a dynasty," Cole realized, using these children as free labor while positioning himself for territorial governor. "And eliminating anyone who stands in his way," Elias added. "Like your brother, like my wife." Their investigation took an unexpected turn when a young woman named Sarah began working at the saloon. Sharp-witted and observant, she quickly became Cole's most trusted employee. She also took a particular interest in Elias, often staying after hours to listen to him play. One night, Cole found them in intense conversation, Elias's hands frozen over the keys. "She knows," Elias said simply. Sarah met Cole's gaze unflinchingly. "I know you're building a case against Blackwood. I want to help. Why would you risk that?" Cole asked. "Because my real name is Sarah Winters. Elias Winters was my father." The revelation stunned both men. Elias's hands trembled as he reached for her face. "Charlotte's eyes," he whispered. "How did you find me?" "I never stopped looking," she replied. "After Mother died, I was sent to a workhouse in Colorado. I escaped last year and have been tracking Blackwood ever since, hoping he would lead me to you." With Sarah's help, their investigation accelerated. Her time in Blackwood's workhouses had given her knowledge of his operation from the inside. She also brought news that federal marshals were investigating corruption in the territory, potential allies if they could be trusted. As their case built, so did the danger. Blackwood's men began watching the saloon more closely. Suppliers reported being questioned about the Silverado's business. Then came the first direct attack, a fire set at the back entrance, barely contained before it could spread. "He's getting nervous," Cole observed as they surveyed the damage. "We must be getting close to something important." "The land records," Elias suggested. "If we can prove he forged the territorial survey maps, everything else falls into place." The original surveys were kept in Blackwood's private office in the courthouse, a seemingly impenetrable target. But Sarah had discovered something valuable during her investigations. "The courthouse was built on the foundation of the original trading post," she explained, "and the old tunnel system that connected it to the river landing was never filled in, just sealed off. And one of those tunnels runs directly beneath the Silverado," Elias finished, understanding dawning. "That's why I insisted on rebuilding the stage in its exact original position." Beneath the stage, they found what Elias had hidden years before, an entrance to the tunnel system that honeycombed beneath Redemption Springs. The passage was narrow and damp, but navigable. Their plan was simple, but dangerous. Cole would create a distraction at the saloon, drawing Blackwood's attention and security. Meanwhile, Elias and Sarah would use the tunnels to access the courthouse, retrieve the original survey maps, and return before anyone realized they were gone. The night they chose coincided with Blackwood's monthly poker game at the Silverado, a high-stakes affair that the judge never missed, seeing it as an opportunity to demonstrate his power over the town's elite. As the game progressed, Cole ensured Blackwood's glass remained full, the judge's legendary tolerance for whiskey finally meeting its match in the special reserve Cole had been saving for the occasion. Below, Elias and Sarah navigated the forgotten tunnels, emerging through a hidden access point in the courthouse basement. The building was largely empty, with only a night watchman making occasional rounds. They reached Blackwood's office without incident. The safe containing the most damning documents yielded to Elias's skilled touch, a talent he'd acquired during his years of investigation. "Here," Sarah whispered, unfolding the original territorial surveys. "These prove the boundaries were altered. The Remington land, our land, all of it, stolen through forgery." Their success was short-lived. As they prepared to return to the tunnels, the office door swung open. Deputy Marshal Fletcher, Blackwood's most loyal enforcer, stood in the doorway, revolver drawn. "I knew someone was getting too close," Fletcher said. "The judge will be mighty interested to learn it was the piano player all along. And the federal authorities will be interested to learn about your involvement in land fraud." Came a new voice from behind Fletcher. A man stepped into view, badge gleaming on his chest. "U.S. Marshal Daniel Cooper. I've been undercover in Redemption Springs for 3 months, Deputy. Your boss isn't the only one who can run a long game." Back at the Silverado, the poker game had reached its climax. Blackwood, unusually affected by the whiskey, had bet heavily on a hand he was certain would win. When Cole revealed a superior hand, the judge's composure finally cracked. "You've been playing me from the start, Remington," he snarled, reaching for his concealed derringer. Cole was faster, his revolver appearing as if by magic. "I wouldn't, Judge, not with federal marshals in your courthouse right now, finding all those documents you thought were so well hidden." Blackwood's face drained of color. "What are you talking about?" "Your empire is falling, Maxwell," Cole said, using the judge's first name deliberately. Just like you made my brothers fall when you sent men to burn him out. Just like you destroyed Elias Winters when he discovered your land scheme. The saloon had gone silent, every patron watching the confrontation. Among them were several men who subtly revealed badges, Marshal Cooper's reinforcements, positioned throughout the room. You have nothing, Blackwood insisted, though his confidence was clearly shaken. We have everything, Elias announced from the entrance, Sarah beside him and Marshal Cooper behind them, including the original surveys proving you forged territorial boundaries, and testimony from 23 witnesses you thought were silenced permanently. What followed was the most spectacular arrest Redemption Springs had ever witnessed. As Blackwood was led away in shackles, the town seemed to collectively exhale, as if freed from a weight many hadn't even recognized they carried. In the aftermath, justice moved swiftly. Blackwood's network unraveled as associates rushed to testify against him. Land was returned to rightful owners, children were freed from workhouses, and the true extent of the judge's crimes shocked even those who had suspected his corruption. The Silverado remained open, though its ownership changed. Cole and Sarah, whose relationship had blossomed during their investigation, became partners in more ways than one. Elias continued to play, his music now celebratory rather than mournful. One evening, as the three sat together after closing, Marshal Cooper arrived with news. Blackwood will hang next month, he informed them. And I've been authorized to offer you something, Remington. The territory needs a new federal marshal, someone who knows the land and has proven they stand for justice. Cole looked at Sarah, then at Elias. I'm honored, but I found something better than a badge. I found family. Who says you can't have both? Sarah asked. This territory still needs good men to ensure what happened under Blackwood never happens again. Elias nodded in agreement. Some men are born to bring justice, Cole. You're one of them. The badge felt right when Cooper pinned it to Cole's chest. Not a burden, but a purpose. The piano played a triumphant melody as Redemption Springs lived up to its name at last, offering a new beginning to those who had fought to uncover the truth buried beneath its streets. And beneath the Silverado, the printing press began running again, this time producing a newspaper dedicated to truth, with Elias as editor and Sarah as its fearless lead reporter. Its name, emblazoned on the masthead, told the story of their shared journey. The Reckoning.